Hey everyone, so in this video what we're going to talk about is some of the mixing functions that we have within Wwise. In previous videos we've talked a lot about the different hierarchies that we have in terms of music and sound design, and in this one we're going to actually start mixing those objects together. So what I want to do first is actually go to our interactive music layout and look at one of our playlists that we have. And each playlist has some mixer functionality built in it. You can see that there's a voice volume that we can adjust, as well as where we route it on an audio bus. So let's go ahead and talk about buses first. What we're going to do is we're going to create our own buses. In a game, typically there are a bunch of different buses that we might want to set up, but most commonly we set up one for music, one for sound effects, and one for dialogue. In the regular default settings for Wwise, we have 3 buses sort of set up for us, and we're going to just use one. We're going to use the master audio bus to create secondary buses. So I'm going to go ahead, new child, and another bus, and let's call this the music bus. Let's also create another one, which is a sound effects bus. And although we're not going to use it, we're going to create another one for our dialogue, so dialogue bus. Okay, so we have 3 buses created, and you can see when I click on them, each one has its own properties here, where we have an overall bus mix, and we can actually add in other things like pitch shifting and low pass filter directly on the bus itself. Now, in the channel configuration, right now we're going to be working with a 2.0 mix, but obviously you can go in and do a 5.1 mix if you want for surround, or any other different configurations that you might have. You also have inserts. You can add buses and do inserts and effects on these different mixer buses that you have. Let's go ahead and look at some of the other advanced mixing features. So first of all, what I want to do is go to my music playlist. I want to make sure it's on the right bus, so I go to general settings, and instead of it being on the master audio bus, I switch it over to the music bus like that. And I'll also do the same thing with the menu music that I have. I'll switch that over to the actual music bus. Then I have a bunch of sound effects here, and I'm going to take these sound effects and I'm going to switch their buses all together. So I'll go ahead and change these sounds to the sound effect bus. The question is, can I do them all at once? And I think I can by selecting them all and then hitting sound effects bus, and that way they're all on the sound effects bus. All right, so now I'm using the music and the music and sound effect buses, and I'm not using the dialogue bus, but that's okay. This will basically give us an overall feeling of how the overall mixing system works. So there is a dedicated layout for the mixer. So let's go to that, and you can see it puts a Soundcaster window down below. It puts our events down over here on the left rather, and it also puts a mixing desk up here. Let's actually create a new mixing desk, and I'll just call it new mixing session. So this is our session here. Now, in order to kind of mix, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to drag in our individual elements. And you can drag in events over here. So if I say music, music main menu and pull it over in, the events don't actually drag in, but I can drag in individual music playlists or the menu playlist, or I can start dragging in some of the sound effects that I have, like so. Now this window is pretty big, meaning that we have lots of different configurations. We have voice volume, we have high pass and low pass, and we have effects that we can add. You can customize the layout of this by going up here into the upper right hand corner and changing your view settings. For instance, if you don't need all these effects, maybe you say, I just need effect 0, and I also maybe don't need some of these other things in here, but I'll leave them for right now. You also can change the height of the faders themselves. Okay, so now you can use accompanying Soundcaster window to pull these events in if you want. So what I'll do is pull in the main menu here. Oops, I need a new Soundcaster itself, so I'll create a new Soundcaster session and pull my main menu music in. We'll also pull the start game music in, and I'll give us one sound effect, the incorrect move sound effect. All right, so I can play these now, and I can play my sound effects, and they're playing out of these voices here, but we're not seeing them because we need to add in our buses over here. And what we can do is actually pull in our master audio bus, we can pull in our music bus, and we can pull in our sound effects bus. And so when I'm playing stuff, what I can see is actually I can hear it directly by either playing the music or the sound effects that end up playing. So that's a little bit of the overview. Then if I want to adjust it in real time, I can change the music mixes, for instance. Maybe that one's too loud. I can pull that down so that when I play it again, actually I'm pulling down the wrong fader. The menu music is this one over here. When I play it, it's going to be quieter. Now what's interesting about this process is that you can actually have a control system, control surface like a Mackie Huey or any of the other control surfaces that are out there, and actually hook up real faders to this mixer if you want, which is also really pretty amazing. All right, when I adjust things over here, they also get propagated over here. So let's go back to the interactive music layout, and we can see that the voice volume has been changed here. So it's kind of a one-stop shop for doing all your mixing is in the is using these faders here, which will actually go back and adjust the individual levels for each one of the individual objects. And so that's how you might want to set up your mixer and also do your mixing for your game.